So today I want to talk to you about a topic that we don't see in many leadership development programs, maybe in no programs, to be honest. And yet it's a topic that I see often with leaders. It's managing up. And the thing about managing up, firstly, is that we know it's one of the most difficult things to do in organizational life because there's always a power dynamic. There's always a challenge between that individual who's above you, that person who really has full, or at least a lot of control over your day-to-day in your career. So we know that that's going to be something that's really quite challenging. So today, we're going to talk to you about 3 strategies that you can use in effectively managing up. Firstly, let's talk about the 3 things that executives really do not like. Okay, so the number one is surprises. And a lot of us don't like surprises, but surprises for executives can be extremely detrimental, as you can imagine. They don't want to be caught off guard. They don't want to be, again, surprised by anything. They want to be in the know. So the first thing is surprises. The second thing that executives really despise, they do not like, is unsolicited feedback on their leadership style and decision making. Sometimes they want it, sometimes they ask for it, but getting that when it's not asked for, not something they're interested in. Now, the third thing that executives do not like is being told no. Being told, no, we can't do this. No, the timelines are too tight. No, this can't happen. And that's the one that we're really going to play on in regard to identifying our 3 strategies for managing up. The first strategy is really more of a concept. It's the notion that you can't fight every battle. You need to choose those battles very intentionally. Senior leaders really understand that you work hard to earn your currency, and you want to be very careful about how you choose to spend it. And so you can't fight every battle. And so again, the first strategy is understanding how to pick and choose the different things that you really want to push hard on, that you want to go for, and how you want to influence your boss in managing up. The second strategy is building on the notion of what's called reciprocity. Now, reciprocity goes deep into our evolution as human beings, where if I do something for someone, likely they're going to be keen to help you in return. Okay. And so the notion of reciprocity in managing up, if we build on the third piece of what we know executives not to like, which is being told no, we're not going to tell them no. Instead, we'll say yes, but it's yes and. So yes, I can, for instance, move up the deadline on that particular project. Or yes, I can ask my team to work a little bit harder. In return, I'm wondering if I can give the team Friday afternoon off, for instance. Or what you might ask for is something more specific, more individual, is can I be part of the upcoming board meeting just as a passive observer? So the notion of reciprocity says, I will give you this. In return, would it be possible for me to get something from you? And oftentimes, your leaders will be keen to engage in that kind of conversation. Thirdly, and this is probably the most effective strategy, is highlighting the risks and implications. Your boss is the decision maker. So if they decide to do something, they decide they want something, etc., then going with them on that, but ensuring that they understand what the risks and implications of such decisions or requests might be. So for instance, let's go back to the deadline example. If your boss is keen to move up the deadline by a week or so, and you know your team is already tired, making sure that your boss understands what the implications of that decision will be. Again, we're not saying no. We're saying, yes, we will do that. However, the team is already tired, and asking them to put in more time means they'll be even more fatigued following this deadline. So the results of that might be that the quality may not be intact, or they may also be challenged to, keep up with the work afterwards, or keep their motivation high, or even something more serious. Like we might see some people leaving the business because they're not prepared to put up with these conditions any further, or they might have doctor's notes, etc. The point being that you're highlighting the implications, you're highlighting the risks, and then allowing that decision maker still to decide what they want to do. And should they say, yes, they understand those risks and implications fully and move forward, then you've still done your job. You may not have gotten the outcome that you were seeking, but you've still done your job in attempting to influence and manage up. But in a lot of cases, the decision maker will maybe not be aware of, or certainly not appreciate what some of the implications and risks are, in which case this now changes the conversation. So for instance, in that case, that example I used, where you say, we're going to move the deadline up, what they might ask is, are there some other priorities currently that we can shift that will open up our team to meet this new deadline? So in managing up, first of all, we understand this is something that's really tricky. There's always a power dynamic, but we do have strategies that we can use. The first strategy being, you can't fight every battle, so choose them very carefully. The second one is building on the notion of reciprocity. So absolutely, I can do this for you. I can help you with this, boss. In return, I have a request that may be in my best interest or my team's best interest. And thirdly, ensuring that you highlight the risks and implications of certain requests and decisions, and knowing that may very well change the conversation.